My Hero Academia, 10 Ways Bakugo Ruined His Likability. Despite his consistent popularity among My Hero Academia fans, Bakugo has more than his fair share of unlikable traits. Despite his aggressive exterior, Bakugo has ranked fairly high, if not number one, in the recent popularity polls for My Hero Academia. However, while he's made progress toward redemption in the last few arcs, it doesn't change the fact that he started the series as an unlikable character and remains that way for some fans. Bakugo has a lot of difficult, off-putting traits that make it hard to love him as a character. Plus, he's not the main point-of-view protagonist, instead often serving as the antagonist or foil to Midoriya. Though Bakugo has improved over time, he still has several characteristics that have ruined his likability for fans. 10. His shallow nicknames for people. Bakugo's nicknames for his classmates have definitely lost him likability points. Bakugo is notorious for not calling his classmates by their names, which many fans assume is because he doesn't bother to remember their names, making it even worse. Instead, he calls people by shallow nicknames that, more often than not, are insulting. These nicknames are often cruel, highlighting whatever physical feature he most easily notices for them. Raccoon eyes, for Ishido, half-and-half bastard, for Todoroki, ears, for Jiro. Or, ponytail girl, for Momo. These are just some examples of how he refers to his classmates, which definitely do not come across positively. 9. To say he's extreme is an understatement. Bakugo takes everything he does to a ridiculous level of intensity, often causing him to come across as excessively extreme. He absolutely refuses to settle for anything no matter what it is, which leads to difficult situations where he feels like he has to prove his worth. A perfect example is when he denounced his win in the UA Sports Festival because Todoroki wouldn't fight him with his full power. Bakugo took this as a personal slight and refused to accept his victory. Whereas most other characters would still happily accept the win, Bakugo lashed out intensely. 8. He cruelly bullies Midoriya. At the beginning of the series, Bakugo was a horrible bully to Midoriya, the most extreme instance being when, very early in the series, he encouraged Midoriya to kill himself so he can develop a quirk in his next life. This immediately tainted many fans' opinions of Bakugo, as it was far from hero-like behavior. And even though he has grown into a better person over the course of the show, he still has not apologized to Midoriya for the way he treated him. In this way, while he may not be such a bully anymore, he certainly hasn't made up for his past yet. 7. His perceived superiority over others. At the start of the series, Bakugo is extremely egotistical. He strongly believes in his own worth and sees himself as better than everyone else. Which makes sense, because growing up he got used to being the leader, and the praise he earned with his flashy quirk only strengthened his own beliefs about himself. Of course, this trait has mellowed slightly as the show goes on. While Bakugo initially lashes out frequently upon starting at UA, he has become more realistic about himself when faced with all of the skills and talents of his classmates. However, this initial introduction as an arrogant jerk still left him unlikable for many fans. 6. He has an explosive temper. To say Bakugo has a short temper is a huge understatement. He's notorious for his volatile, explosive temper that shocks people around him. Something as simple as Midoriya saying, "Hi," to him is likely to end in Bakugo screaming. Obviously, this isn't an endearing trait. It leaves his classmates nervous that they'll set him off, which typically results in a whole bunch of screaming and literal explosions. It's clear he has little patience and even less self-restraint, causing him to come across as extremely annoying. 5. He's rude to everyone around him. Even outside of his cruel nicknames, Bakugo is just overall not a nice person. He constantly yells at others and is often incredibly mean to the students around him. This goes so far that he even refers to other people as extras, as in they are extras in the show, whereas he is the lead, even though he's not. It's clear that he doesn't hold much respect for other people. Which isn't the best trait for someone training to be a hero. 4. He yells more often than he doesn't. One of the major ways Bakugo ruins his likability is the simple fact that he's constantly yelling. No matter what's going on, he's basically always screaming. From rude comments to other people to emotionally charged outbursts to just general statements. It's hard to like someone when it feels like the majority of their personality is being angry. Even his classmates pick up on this, taunting him jokingly during the rare moments where he isn't yelling. 3. He only cares about himself. Bakugo is consistently extremely self-centered, frequently putting his own wants and needs well above those of others. He cares very little about the opinions of any of his classmates and demonstrates as much again and again. His concern with only his own goals and ambitions has often confused fans, given his future career. He very much does what he wants whenever he wants, regardless of how it affects other people and of even the consequences to himself. Just look at his results during the Provisional Hero License exam. 2. He's not a team player. In the beginning, Bakugo was just about the complete opposite of a team player. He refused to cooperate with anyone, charging headfirst and ignoring teammates when he was supposed to be working with them. For example, in his first battle when he was paired with Ida, Bakugo refused to coordinate with him, simply telling Ida to stay out of his way. This trait has admittedly lessened over time, especially in the latest season. However, his initial refusal to work with others left a lasting impression on many, leaving fans skeptical of the hero in training. 1. His catchphrase is, "Die." While many of the students and pro heroes have a catchphrase, none of them are quite as aggressive as Bakugo's. It's fairly telling of someone's personality when their catchphrase is, "Die." Plus, it doesn't matter whether he's addressing friends or enemies, he's just constantly yelling at anyone he engages with to die. This definitely doesn't help his likability, and only causes people to question his true allegiances. Regardless of whether he means it literally or not, telling someone to die doesn't come across as a good catchphrase for a hero.